let's just go from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. So once upon a time, these two people, Akash and his friend Patel, they built this company called redacted. Don't remember that. Forget that I said that. Called Jimbo's Equipment. So they built this company, and the idea of the company, I can say what the idea of the company is. The idea of the company is to make these porosity testing devices. And what's novel about them is that no other company has ever built porosity testing devices like these before. So they're devices that, like, you can put a sample in, a piece of paper, a piece of cloth, a disc, something that holds liquid, and then you put that little sample in it, and then it shows you all kinds of different information about the sample, which is great because companies need this types of material to be tested. They need their products to be tested to make sure it meets their specifications, and they worked really, really well, right? And they're the only people that actually made these. So they found this niche, right, that people wanted to go to. Yeah, so they built these devices, and it was incredible. Incredible devices. So because of that, Patel and Akash got massively rich. They made so much money because everybody wanted, these large companies wanted to buy these products, and they sold them for like $120,000, $150,000 a piece. They made this facility, and they had 20, 30 guys working there, and life was great for a very long time. This was like 50 years ago, probably. I wasn't keeping track of the timeline too much, but it was a long time ago. Life was great for a while, but eventually Patel quit. Retired, I guess I should say. And Patel was the person that actually, like, managed building the machines and made sure that the machines ran for specification, was the lead of making the machines. Akash was the salesperson, talked to everybody about these different machines, and made sure the customers were happy. So when Patel retired, things changed because Akash he knew a little bit about how the machines work because he's been working there for 40 years, but he wasn't actually that good at making them. So when he tried to just take over it by himself, things started coming apart. People weren't being able to make these things, and there weren't good enough guidance. And Akash is just a terrible person to work with. He blames you for things you don't do. He wants you to be like the fastest worker possible and make sure everything is perfect all by yourself. And if it's not, then he'll yell at you. Because of that, he knew he sucks. He knew it. He knew he's terrible, but he doesn't care. So everybody quit. Straight up. There used to be 30 people working there. And then slowly it's getting lower and lower. And then, because people were quitting out, he needed people to manage the place, quote unquote, manage the place. So he hired 2 other Indians from India that works in India. They are just remotely working from India to come work for him, right? And again, the issue is that these guys are the most stupidest people I've ever met I've ever met. They have no idea how these machines work. They've been working here for at least 10 years. And even if you're remote, you should at least know how the machines work. They have not a clue. They don't have a single clue how these machines work. One of them made does the CAD for the machines. He still doesn't know how the machines work. It's absurd. I don't understand. Genuinely, because there could be an issue with the machine. I could ask where something goes. They don't know. They didn't know. And it's my job to actually know where it is, even though I've been there for a month and I haven't worked on these machines. I've never made one of these machines before. So because of that, Akash essentially made it so there's 3 other versions of him running around at any given point. There's 2 other versions of him. There's 3 of him essentially preaching the most horrible gospel I've ever seen, culture I've ever seen in any other environment of work. So everybody quit, straight up. especially during COVID, like nobody wanted to work anyways, so everyone quit. And then the facility itself had mold growing and the ceiling collapsed. After that, even more people quit. Eventually, after 10 years or something, there was 3 guys total, honestly, that physically go there in the company that still works there. So that's good and all, but 2 of them, John and the other guy that I don't know the name of, they quit. They quit during my co-op. During the 2 months that I was there, they quit, straight up. So they're gone. Sam is still there, but he works Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and that's it. He doesn't really work that much because he has a full-time job already. Oh, I forgot the most important part. When Hotel retired, Akash sold half his company away to another company. Basically, he sold like his most prized, most innovative patents. He sold those away. He gave them to another company he cashed in essentially for millions and millions of dollars. I'm sure it was worth that much, at least. Because he made up $150,000 per machine. And he made many machines. So he doesn't really care what happens to the company at this point. He just kind of does whatever he wants. Because he doesn't care, no matter what. The company could go bankrupt, the company could fail. The company could do anything. The company could stop working. He doesn't care because he's rich. He's rich as hell. It's just straight up it's like if the worst person imaginable can do whatever he wants. That's essentially what happened. And that's essentially what does happen. So he made his company, his playground, and he could just do whatever he wants. He can yell at people, he can tell people to quit, because if they do, who cares? Who cares? If the company fails, who cares? That was his mindset, and that is his mindset currently. So, Sam, he's the only person that was working there. And then this year, they hired one other person, a Spanish person, that doesn't speak a lick of English. He does not speak any English at all. He knows 0 English. So it's even worse because now they're speaking remotely. The remote people is speaking mostly Hindi. When they're talking to us, they speak English. Jose only speaks Spanish. He doesn't understand anything they're saying, even in English. He needs a translator. So you would think after all this time they would realize that maybe they're doing something wrong. Maybe this isn't how you're supposed to run a business. Nope. They want to push even more people away. When I came on, what happened was, what I usually do is make machines, and that was fun. That's the whole point I wanted to go there. I wanted to learn how to make a machine from start to end. Right? That was my goal. And when I was actually allowed to do that, oh my gosh, it was the most fun job you could ever have. I'm telling you. Because there's no, like, rules, regulations. Well, obviously there are. But you're not, like restricted. I love it. That's what I want my job to be. I want to actually make devices like that. The issue is that when I was doing this, they would never ever leave me alone. They would never shut the hell up. Jesus Christ. They would always ask me what I'm doing. They would always ask me to do something different. What they would do is they would tell me to do one thing. Oh, you gotta test these samples for us using this machine. I'll go, okay, I'll test them. Kid you not, 30 minutes, 1 hour later, they'll go, oh, okay, I know you're testing this, but now you're going to build this different machine. You're going to build a completely separate machine now. And you're going to wire it. I'm like, okay, I'll start doing that. 30 minutes, hour later, okay, now you gotta organize the fittings for us. I'm not joking, like, less than an hour intervals, I have to switch jobs because that's what they tell me to do. And if that was just it, I would stay. Because at the end of the day, I'm not the guy that's not getting stuff done. You can never get stuff done if you're only given an hour, right, to do every single thing possible. You can't just do it in an hour. It's not possible. Especially when this is your very first time doing it. Like, are you kidding me? My job was to just do whatever they want me to do. That's literally what they told me to. That's literally what they told me. And I'm okay with that. If they want me to sit, I'll sit. If they want me to make, I'll make. If they want me to switch every single hour, different tasks, okay. I'm not the one that's losing money every single day doing this. They are. I'm making at least I'm making 20 an hour doing this. And for the first 2 months, they were happy with it because I would be working 50 to 60 hour weeks. I would be getting paid $20 an hour for all of it, but I wasn't getting paid overtime. No, they won't allow that. They can't. They'll never do that. Why would they ever do that? But I got sick 1 week, and then I realized, and then they won't pay me for sick days either. And I realized, oh, these guys don't actually respect me at all. Not even enough to have sick days. They think me as still just an intern that's just there for a few months and then I'm leaving. So if that's the case, then I'm not going to work my ass off and not have any free time to do literally anything just to make their bottom line a little less terrible. So I started doing just 40-hour days, and I would just be working my 8-hour shift and then doing whatever they want, and then I would stop working at 3:30. 7 to 3:30, that's it, and I would take my 30-minute break, and that would be it. This is when the problems start, because I wasn't willing to stay a few extra hours every single day to make sure that the place is cleaned, make sure that the tests are going well, and making sure that everything was running. I finished like everything up to what they want me to before I leave. I stopped myself at 40. I stopped myself at 8 no matter what, and they knew it, and this made them angry because now I'm not getting stuff done because they don't let me have time to, and I'm also not working the extra hours to ensure that even after all that, I'm getting at least a little bit done. Right now, literally nothing is getting done. At first, it was just passive-aggressive, like they go, oh, you're not done this yet? Why aren't you done this yet? Well, I only have a few hours to do it, like, what am I supposed to do? They go, oh, okay, switch to this thing. Okay, fine, if you can't do it, switch to this thing. I go, okay, I'll switch to this thing. And then slowly but surely, I guess their anger starts rising. Especially Akash anger starts rising because they have machines that needs to be given to customers or else he'll get sued. But I can't finish it if I only get 2 hours per task. Max. Like, it's absurd. So on Friday, this Friday was the final straw. I was running a test. The test failed because there wasn't enough liquid in the chamber. He asked why the chamber needed liquid in the first place. I told him it's because the machine is built so that you need a base level of liquid in order for the machine to run properly. He asked why was it built like that? I told him that's just how I was told it was built. It was built like this, and the manual says that it was supposed to be built like this. I didn't build this machine. This was built well before I was here. But because I was testing it, I need to be the guy that tells them whenever if this is built incorrectly. I never knew it was built incorrectly. Everyone told me that this is how. I told him this is how I'm running the tests. I told him specifically this is how I'm running the test before, and he said, okay, if that's how it has to be, then run the test like that. He yelled at me on Friday because he thought that this is built wrong, and it was my responsibility to tell him that it was built wrong so that I can fix it. So he yelled at me for that, like straight up yelled at me, and told me that if I don't want to work, that I'm not doing any work here. If I don't want to work here, then I should just quit. That was the last straw, because I can't do work if they tell me to keep on moving tasks every single hour of the day. Like, it's impossible. So I can get told, I can be told to do whatever they want, no matter how much they want. If they don't want me to do work, then fine. It's less experience for me because I can't do the tasks they want me to, so that means I can't do the things that I want to. But fine, I'll do it. I'll do it. That's what you want me to. I'm not the manager. You're the manager. When you start blaming me for things I didn't do, and then you start blaming me because I didn't do work even though you told me can't give me the time of day to work, and start yelling me at for it about it, then I'd rather not work there. I won't work there. I will not work for you then. So yesterday I decided to give them a call. I made a call with them and told them that, hey, you're not treating me right. You're not treating me correctly. This is not okay for you to do to me. So if you want me to stay, then you should either pay me more, or you should either promote me as a manager so I can actually gain that responsibility. You can't just tell me I'm responsible for this but not treat me like a manager that should be responsible for it. If you want me to be a manager, then you gotta pay me like a manager and respect me like a manager. Or you just can't treat me like that. They didn't want to do either. They said that nope, it's our way or the highway. Basically, we're not changing our thing. We're not promoting you. We're not doing anything. If you don't like it, then you should just quit. So I said, okay, I'll just quit. I told them that I'm doing a lot for this company. I don't know if you should. I don't know how much you'll survive without me, because there's only Jose working there. There's only the Spanish guy working there. It's just him. Before, they had some get out of jail free cards. They had John. They had the other guy. They had some people that actually knew what they're doing. But they're gonna go bankrupt. There's no shot. There's no shot they stay alive. I mean, Sam is the only guy that's really good at working. Jose is really good at making sure they're all built, but he doesn't know how to test it. He doesn't know how to analyze the data. He can't do any of that. When I was there to grab my stuff, they couldn't even find the samples. They had to text me, where's the samples? Where's the samples, Ronick? Where's the money, Rulowski? It was absurd. It was next to the machine. You don't even need to look. It was next to the machine. How? And I know for at least one customer, I know that they pulled out. I know that they already pulled out because I talked with them and I told them that I quit, and I told them that the other guys don't know what they're doing. And they saw some data that the other guys can put out, and it was just wrong. The machine didn't work right. They gave them just the worst data ever. I don't know how long they're gonna survive for, but I don't think it was right for them to fire me at all. That's my opinion. Obviously, I'm biased towards me. I'm glad I can at least say this on Twitch chat. I can at least vent out my anger to something. Fake American talk about his life problems, then thank you for that. Thank you so much. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe for more amazing content. It was a great experience for what it's worth. Like, actually making machines. I learned a ton. There we go. There's your little guy. Yeah, but it was just not the type of thing I should ever make myself do again. And I talked with my advisor about this because this is something I needed for my co-op, to finish my co-op. Or, to graduate from RIT, you need some internships to graduate from my college. I talked with them about it, and surprisingly enough, this company was actually blacklisted from RIT. I wasn't supposed to be able to work there. Sorry, I have my mic again. But the reason I is because I applied there last year. And I got accepted, but I had another internship coming up, so I declined their offer. So I reached out to them myself to ask them if they want a co-op for this summer. And because of that, I unknowingly went wrapped around their system, their blocking system, so I actually got this co-op. That was not supposed to happen. So I talked with them about it, and I will get the credits for it for at least the weeks I was working, and I'm just gonna need to stream now. Okay, but that was everyone. Yep, nobody's here. everybody that's here and listened to my fun little story while I had to kill a bunch of people. I guess that story took forever, but that took forever, so it worked out.